So, the Louisville Cardinals have just won their 22nd game of the season through 24 games, with an impressive double-digit victory over Notre Dame, winning by damn near 30 points. And it's got me very excited about this team and their future prospects for the March Madness tournament in about a month's time. Admittedly, I haven't watched every game for Louisville this season like I have with some other teams. But in the number of games that I have watched, there's a lot of things that I've liked about this team that scream to me they are legitimate championship contenders. A lot of that stuff was exemplified in today's game against Notre Dame. So in today's video, I want to go over some things that I noticed in the Louisville Notre Dame matchup, some key players I think will be important for the Cardinals moving forward, and overall discuss their chances to win the championship in March. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more women's basketball content like this. I'd love to reach 2,000 subscribers on this channel by March, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Louisville. As I mentioned, the Cardinals absolutely dominated Notre Dame by 26 points today, and there were a few reasons why they were able to kill off the Irish's offense and spark their own. One big reason was definitely the Cards' defense. They completely locked up Notre Dame, especially in that third quarter, and it was ultimately what put the game out of reach for Notre Dame. Louisville's defensive intentions in this game was to ultimately prevent a lot of ball movement from Notre Dame, force their point guards into isolation plays, and ultimately have them create one-on-one, rather than passing and playmaking with other members of their team. This is an area that Notre Dame hasn't been overly strong at all this season, and in turn, there were more turnovers and bad shots from them, allowing Louisville to get on the break far more regularly. Getting on the fast break more often has enabled Louisville to dice into the paint before the Notre Dame defense was prepared and set up, which resulted in more easy points for Louisville to extend their lead. All in all, the defense from Louisville was simply brilliant in this game, and I think if it can become a more consistent strength for the Cards moving into March, it's going to take this team to a whole new level and give them the potential to make a serious run for the national championship. Another thing that made the Cardinals so dominant today was the balance and versatility of their offense. Throughout this season too, not just today, this has typically been their biggest strength. When it's all clicking, the players like Hailey Van Lith, Emily Ensler, and Chelsea Hall all balling out, they're basically impossible to slow down because they just have so many options to go create offense and get you a bucket. If you're slowing one down, there's another 2 to 3 girls on this team who can step up and make the opposition's life just as hellish. As a result of their insane depth on offense, particularly in the backcourt, there normally isn't any big standout performers, like we saw again today, with Hailey Van Lith finishing on 16 points, Kiana Smith with 17 points, Ensler with 9 points, 12 rebounds and 5 assists, and Hall with 13 and 5. But that balance and even spread of the offense is what makes this team so deadly on that end of the floor. They don't need a superstar player, just consistent effort from multiple players, and that gives them a dynamic on offense that not many other teams have right now, and it's something that will give them an edge in the postseason. For a team like UConn, for example, one of their biggest weaknesses this season, at least to begin the season, was an over-reliance on Paige Beckers. Louisville doesn't have those kind of problems at all, and it's what makes them such an exciting team to watch and also a very dangerous one to come up against. Louisville is always finishing games like today with multiple players in double digits and scoring, and again, that just showcases how versatile and dynamic their offense is. Again, when the postseason arrives, this ability to have multiple players go off and create offense is going to become incredibly important, especially since in March Madness, the game slows down a bit and becomes more half-court oriented. With that said though, let's talk about some of these players playing well for Louisville as of late and how their play will be crucial for a big run in March for the Cardinals. Firstly, we have to discuss Hailey Van Lith. Though she hasn't become the crazy high-level scorer we thought she might be out of high school, that doesn't mean she hasn't been phenomenal at the collegiate level. She's probably one of the most exciting players to watch still in the NCAAW, as her ability to dive to the basket and finish, combined with her electric shooting and handle, makes her an engaging young player to follow. Van Lith is one of the most consistent and efficient scorers there is right now in the NCAA, scoring in double digits in 15 of her last 18 games. That didn't change today, as she stepped up in the second half and capitalized off Louisville's defense, scoring 12 of her 16 points. I think Haley's ability to create one-on-one, not only in transition but in a slower offensive possession, makes her such a valuable person on this Louisville team. And that ability to hit those tough pull-up jumpers and finish through contact makes her a major X factor in my eyes that could turn this team from an Elite 8 exit to a national champion this season. The transfers to Louisville from the offseason in Emily Engstler and Chelsea Hall have also been a lot more impactful than I expected this season, and they've been a big reason why Louisville are consistently recognized as a top 3 team in the nation. Before the season started, I thought the two would be great additions to this team, but I didn't expect them to slide in as well as they have. Emily has been a great playmaker, finishing with 5 assists, as I mentioned today, but her ability to score in bunches has turned the momentum in Louisville's favor on numerous occasions, including today at the start of the second half. Engstler is a leader. She's constantly barking instructions on the court, and that steady presence has elevated the potential of this Louisville team, and it's clear they are capitalizing on it. Chelsea Hall has also made impact regularly this season, constantly scoring in double figures. She's dominated in transition tonight, fully taking advantage of Notre Dame's mistakes and lack of transition defense. Her quickness allows her to rotate well defensively, and also be a good off-ball player offensively. And though sometimes you don't really see her impact in the box score, she's definitely not a player you can just leave unattended. She will make you pay, and we saw that in full effect today against Notre Dame. Kiana Smith and Olivia Cochran have also been seriously impactful players all season long for the Cardinals, with their own skill sets, particularly with Cochran's rebounding and inside presence. They also bolster the depth and talent of Louisville's offense. These two are reliable players the Cards can go to, like Kiana often today, as she finished with 17 points. And again, just having all these players on the floor that can score, pass, and run sets well, this is what gives the Cardinals the best chance at winning a championship this season. But with that all being said, how far could the Cardinals go in March Madness in 2022? In my eyes, this team should be a Final Four team realistically. That's probably their pass mark, and I'm quietly confident that they could even make it to the championship game. They've just got that unpredictability around them in a good way. They could just elevate their game when it's needed most out of nowhere. Ignoring the fact that this team has so many scorers and playmakers, what's best about this group is how well they bounce off each other. The chemistry on this team is amazing. It's what helps them create such a well-balanced and versatile offensive group. There's no ego with this team. They're not about the stats and personal achievements. The focus is on wins, and ultimately a national championship. And with the way they've been playing lately, tearing apart other ranked teams like Notre Dame, it wouldn't surprise me if they're cutting down the nets in a couple of months' time. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but with Hailey Van Lith consistently bringing an efficient 15 to 20 points to the table, with Engstler quietly having an elite season, and the rest of the core supporting them regularly at a high level, both on the defensive end like we saw today, and offensively too, it's hard to not have a lot of confidence in this extremely well balanced but dangerously versatile Louisville team moving forward. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? Can Louisville genuinely make a deep postseason run come March? What were your thoughts on their game today against Notre Dame? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.